On the Sunday Dilemma, we're talking about parenting, whether it's an important thing to be able to stay at home, whether it's a mum or a dad, until your children start school. We can get a word with Laura Gibson, who is a working mum, joining us on BBC WM this morning. Morning, Laura.
Good morning.
It's interesting, but we've heard some of the values and the benefits that children might get from a mum or a dad staying at home. In your case, do you wish you could have done?
Well, I have two children, and after the birth of my first child, I went back to work. I was very happy to go back to work. I knew I was going to do that. It was all fine. After the birth of my second child, my perspective changed a bit, and I do have to admit that if I had the option of being able to stay at home while they're little, then I would probably take it, in all honesty. I do want to just say, though, that I don't think there is a right and a wrong situation here. I think we're all caring for our children and we're all providing for our children. We're just doing it in different ways.
What has the childcare solution been for your children?
Well, I've been very lucky. I have got family that live nearby, and they've been able to look after my children while my husband and I go to work. So that gives us a great deal of flexibility with our childcare. And if, for instance, one of us has to work late or something like that, or a child is ill, then I know that they're on hand and can step in and cover that for us.
What sort of hours are you working? Do you get important time with your children at the start and the end of the day?
Well, they're long days. I work full-time, so that's 5 days a week. It's 37 and a half hours a week. My husband, he works very unsociable, strange hours, doing the job that he does. So it can be very difficult. I tend to get an hour with them in the morning. It's all very hectic, kind of getting breakfast into them, getting them dressed, getting them over to my mother-in-law for the day, and then I'll have a long day. I have a long commute that goes on either side of that, and then in the evenings I'll probably spend about an hour and a half with them,
right,
or so before they have to go to bed.
Okay.
So it's not great, but what we do try to do is make that time count. It's very difficult in the mornings, obviously, when you've got that whole breakfast routine and getting ready to get out the door routine going on. But certainly in the evenings, we like to try and just make the most of that time, and certainly at weekends as well.
And you're there at story time, generally?
Yes. Oh, yes. Every day I'm there. So, yeah, then that's very important. I think they have a set bedtime routine that we always stick to, with bath, bed, story, that sort of thing. So they always know what's coming. I'll always be there for them in the evenings.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, I think those times are absolutely priceless, and yet, we're hearing from some people who don't even get that opportunity with their children, which can be very, very difficult. I mean, do you feel guilty about the fact that you had to work?
Always. I think guilt goes along with being a parent, actually. But obviously, when you're a working parent, there's that feeling that maybe you're missing out on times with them, maybe missing out on experiences and things like that. I know that that's how I can feel. And my husband always has to remind me that we're working in order to provide for them, to give them, a roof over their heads and give them food on the table and, all the things that they need. Because without a double income, we wouldn't be able to do that.
And you decided there isn't enough support out there for working parents as well, and took matters in your own hands a bit, didn't you?
I did, yes. Well, going back to work after maternity leave, I was having a look around on the internet for some information, really, that was relevant to my situation. My husband works shifts, they're very long shifts, and they're dotted around a bit. And I wanted to get some support advice from other people on how they manage with those situations, and I couldn't find it online. So I thought what I'll do is go and create that for myself. So I've put together a website actually called Working Parents United, and that has got information there that is relevant to working parents. There's a forum there for people to go and chat and support each other, and it's very specific to parents who are working.
Laura, thanks so much for joining us on BBC WM this morning. Really appreciate your time. The website that Laura set up is workingparentsunited.co.uk. Again, thanks for giving up your time on a Sunday morning.